Hello everyone. Welcome to our Exploring English podcast channel, and are you looking to improving your English speaking and listening skills? Look no further. Our podcast conversations are the perfect way to improve your English language skills. By watching our podcast conversations, you'll be able to hear authentic English spoken at a natural pace by native speakers, helping you to better understand the language and improve your listening skills. Additionally, by listening to our conversations, you'll be able to pick up on common English phrases and idioms, helping you to improve natural when speaking English. So, join us for our podcast conversations and take your English language skills to the next level.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today we are diving deep into the world of Elon Musk.
Ooh, Elon Musk, yeah.
We've got some super interesting excerpts from the elonmusk.txt episode from the Exploring English podcast.
Interesting.
We're going to try to get beyond all the hype, and really figure out who Elon Musk is and what he's done.
Sounds good.
And what are all the controversies that surround this guy.
Right, yeah, because there's a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot. So this will be fun. So let's just get started right at the beginning. Elon Musk was born in South Africa in 1971.
Okay.
And from what I've read, his story is anything but ordinary. I was reading that when he was 12.
12? Wow, yeah.
12 years old, he taught himself how to code.
Oh, wow.
And then he sold his first video game.
No way.
It
What?
was called Blastar.
Blastar, what a name.
And he sold it for $500.
12 years old.
12 years old.
That's wild. What, is that like a sign or something?
I know, it's crazy. It really does feel like, maybe this was a sign of things to come.
For sure.
So after that, he moves to Canada to go to university.
Okay.
And eventually ends up at the University of Pennsylvania.
Mm-hmm.
And he studies physics and economics.
Oh, so he's like a smart guy.
Yeah. And then he gets into this PhD program at Stanford.
Wow. Stanford.
But get this, he drops out after just 2 days.
No, really?
Yeah, 2 days. He's just like, I'm out of here.
That's crazy. I mean, most people wouldn't leave a program like that.
I know. It seems like he just knew what he wanted to do.
He had that drive.
And it wasn't getting a PhD.
You think he regrets it?
I doubt it.
Probably not.
I mean, look at him.
Yeah, true.
So anyway, he just dives right in and starts his first company, Zip2.
Zip2, what is that?
It was a software company.
Okay.
And basically what they did was they helped newspapers get online.
Oh, so this is back in the 90s.
Yeah, like mid to late 90s.
Wow, so the internet is just becoming a thing.
Exactly. He was way ahead of the curve.
And I'm guessing it did pretty well.
Oh, yeah. They ended up selling it for almost $300 million in 1999.
300 million.
Yeah.
Wow. He is on a roll.
He was just getting started. So then he goes from newspapers to what seems like a totally different thing, online payments.
Online payments.
Yeah. Have you ever heard of this little company called PayPal?
PayPal. Wait, Elon Musk started PayPal?
Well, not exactly. So he started this company called X.com.
X.com. Okay.
And that company eventually became PayPal.
Whoa.
Like, it really set the stage for how we shop online today.
Yeah, that's true. I can't imagine having to write a check every time I buy something online.
I know. And eBay saw just how important online payments were going to become.
Yeah, for sure.
And they bought PayPal from him in 2002 for $1.5 billion.
Billion. So he's a billionaire by now.
Yeah, he's doing pretty well for himself at this point.
So he's conquered the digital world.
Yeah.
What does he do next?
Well, he sets his sights on something that doesn't seem to fit at all cars.
Cars. Really? Like what, regular cars?
No, not regular cars, electric
Oh,
cars.
electric cars. Okay, this is way before they were cool, right?
Yeah, exactly. In 2004, he joins Tesla Motors.
Tesla.
Yeah.
Wow, so he was there right at the beginning.
And keep in mind that at that time, electric cars were like a novelty. No one was really taking them seriously,
Except for Elon Musk.
except for Elon Musk. He really had this vision for the future where transportation would be clean and sustainable.
So it wasn't just about making cars, he wanted to change the whole industry.
Exactly. He was thinking long term.
And I mean, he totally did it right. Tesla is the coolest car company now.
Yeah, I mean, they're known for their fast cars, stylish designs, and, of course, the fact that they're good for the environment.
Yeah, my neighbor has one. He loves showing it off.
I bet. But they didn't just stop at cars.
Really?
No, they expanded into other areas, like solar panels and batteries for storing energy.
Wow. So he was building a whole ecosystem around clean energy.
Yeah, he was thinking big.
That's amazing.
I know, right? And as if changing how we think about cars and energy wasn't enough, he also decided that he wanted to go to space.
He wanted to go to space, like himself.
Well, not just himself. He wanted to make space travel affordable for everyone.
Wow.
So in 2002, he started SpaceX.
SpaceX. Now that's a name I recognize.
And it's a pretty ambitious goal, right? Making space travel accessible to everyone.
Yeah, that's like next level thinking.
And in 2008, SpaceX had their first major success. They launched their first rocket, the Falcon 1.
Cool, and I remember hearing about that.
And then just a few years later, in 2012, they make history by becoming the first private company to send a spacecraft to the International Space Station.
Wow, so they were like competing with NASA and all those big government agencies?
Yeah, and you know what's really interesting about SpaceX?
What's that?
Is how they made all of this possible. They developed reusable rockets.
Reusable rockets. I don't really get how that works.
Okay, so think about it like this. Imagine if every time you wanted to fly somewhere, you had to build a brand new airplane.
Oh, that would be so expensive.
Exactly. Well, that's how rockets used to work.
So SpaceX figured out how to land the rocket after it launched.
Exactly. And by doing that, they made space travel way cheaper.
That's genius.
I know, right? And this is all part of Elon Musk's vision to make space travel as common as hopping on a plane.
And I've heard him talk about building a city on Mars.
Oh, yeah, he's serious about that.
That's wild. I mean, it's hard to even imagine.
I know, but that's what makes Elon Musk so fascinating.
Yeah, he's definitely one of a kind.
So we've covered Tesla, SpaceX, even his childhood video game. But believe it or not, we're just getting started.
There's more.
Oh, yeah, there's so much more to talk about.
Like what?
We haven't even touched on his other companies, like the Boring Company Neuralink or Solar City.
Oh, right. I've heard of those, but I don't really know what they do.
Well, we'll get to all of that, and
Yeah.
we also need to talk about how he became so
There's
successful.
all those controversies.
And all the controversies, of course. Stay tuned for part 2, where we'll dive even deeper into the world of Elon Musk.
So where were we? Oh, yeah, Elon Musk and all his other companies.
Yep, it's mind-blowing how he's involved in so many different things.
Like from electric cars to space travel, now we're talking about tunnels.
Yeah. The Boring Company, it sounds kind of funny.
The Boring Company.
But the idea is actually pretty interesting.
Yeah, I mean, traffic is a huge problem in so many cities.
Exactly. So he wants to build tunnels underground to help people get around faster.
Like a whole underground network of roads?
Yeah, it's pretty futuristic, but knowing Elon Musk, it could actually happen.
He does seem to make the impossible possible.
I know, right? And then there's Neuralink. Have you heard much about that one?
Neuralink, yeah, that's the one with like brain implants, right?
Yeah, it's like something straight out of a sci-fi movie.
It sounds kind of scary, to be honest.
I know it's a little unnerving, but the initial goal is actually to help people with brain injuries and neurological conditions.
Oh, so it could be used to like help people who are paralyzed or have Alzheimer's.
Yeah, that's the idea.
That would be amazing.
It would be revolutionary, but it also raises a lot of ethical questions.
Yeah. Like how far is too far when it comes to messing with our brains?
Exactly, where do we draw the line? It's definitely something to think about.
For sure.
And then there's Solar City, which is all about clean energy.
Right, I remember when he first started talking about that.
So he co-founded Solar City in 2006, and the goal was to make solar panels more accessible to homeowners.
So like putting solar panels on your roof?
Exactly. He wanted to make it easier and more affordable for people to switch to clean energy.
So he's not just building electric cars and rockets, he's also trying to figure out how to power them with renewable energy.
Yeah, it's all connected. It's like this big vision for a sustainable future.
He really does think about the whole picture.
It's pretty impressive when you think about it. So how does he do it? I mean, what are the keys to his success?
Well, I think one of the biggest things is that he's a huge risk taker.
Yeah, he's not afraid to go after ideas that other people might think are crazy.
And he's not afraid to fail either.
Yeah, that's important too. I mean, if you're not willing to fail, you'll never try anything new.
And he's also known for his crazy work ethic.
Yeah, I've heard stories about him working like 100 hours a week.
That's insane. I don't know how he does it.
It's definitely not for everyone.
No, but it's clear that he's incredibly driven and passionate about what he does.
Yeah, and it's not just about money for him.
No, he really wants to make a difference in the world.
He wants to solve problems and push humanity forward.
And that's admirable, even if you don't agree with everything he does.
Right. It's important to recognize that he's not perfect.
Nobody is.
He's made mistakes, and he's had his fair share of controversies.
Yeah, his management style has been criticized, and his Twitter rants can be a little much sometimes.
But despite all that, there's no denying that he's a visionary leader.
He's definitely changed the world in many ways.
Yeah, so before we jump into the controversies, let's just take a moment to appreciate what he's accomplished.
Yeah, it's been a wild ride so far.
And we're not done yet. And about part 3, we'll delve into those challenges and criticisms.
Right, we need to look at the whole picture, the good and the bad.
So stay tuned for the final part of our Elon Musk deep dive. All right, so we're back for the final part of our Elon Musk deep dive, and I think it's time to address the elephant in the room.
The controversies, yeah, there are a few.
To say the least. I mean, his management style has been called everything from demanding to just straight up toxic.
Well, he does have a reputation for being a bit of a micromanager and setting really, really high expectations.
Yeah, and I've heard stories about employees working crazy hours under a lot of pressure.
Yeah, it's definitely not the kind of work environment for everyone.
And then there's his Twitter account, which has gotten him into trouble more than once.
Oh, yeah, that's a whole other can of worms.
Remember when he tweeted about taking Tesla private?
Oh, yeah, that didn't go over so well with the SEC.
And who could forget the pedo guy comment about that cave rescuer?
I mean, sometimes it feels like he just shoots from the hip without thinking about the consequences.
Yeah, it's like his impulsiveness can be both a strength and a weakness.
It can lead to bold decisions and quick action, but it can also backfire spectacularly.
And let's not forget about the challenges that Tesla has faced over the years.
Yeah, production delays, financial concerns, and all those questions about their self-driving technology.
It seems like they're always pushing the limits of what's possible, but sometimes they stumble along the way.
It's a reminder that innovation is messy and unpredictable.
So when you look at the whole picture, Elon Musk, the good, the bad, and the controversial, what's the verdict?
That's tough to say. I mean, there's no doubt that he's a brilliant innovator, and he's made significant contributions to multiple industries.
He's definitely changed the world.
But at the same time, you have to acknowledge the ethical considerations and the potential downsides of some of his ventures.
And those questions about his management style and his social media behavior are valid concerns.
Yeah, it's important to have those critical conversations and not just blindly accept everything he does.
So maybe the takeaway here is that Elon Musk is complex.
He's not a hero or a villain. He's just a human being with all the flaws and contradictions that come with that.
And that's something to keep in mind as we continue to follow his journey and the impact he has on the world.
It's going to be interesting to see what he does next, that's for sure.
Well, that's all the time we have for today's deep dive into the world of Elon Musk.
This was fun.
Yeah, it was a fascinating conversation. We covered a lot of ground.
I learned a lot.
Me too, and I hope our listeners did as well. But now we want to hear from you. What are your thoughts on Elon Musk?
Is he a visionary, a reckless billionaire, or something in between?
Let us know in the comments, and thanks for joining us on the Deep Dive.